We're at Goldenacre on the second weekend of action in the Arnold Clark Women's Premiership, as Heriots look to bounce back from defeat at the hands of Stirling County in round one. And they face a Hillhead Jordanhill side who started their season in style with an opening day victory against Stewartry. Well, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on a rather grey afternoon here on the north side of Edinburgh. We're excited to be here though for our first match in this season's coverage of the Arnold Clark Women's Premiership. A lovely view over Edinburgh, that you can see the weather not ideal, but the rain has stayed away. A fair crowd here at Goldenacre, and the sides met here 10 months ago, with Heriots winning 38-12 on that occasion. Let's have a look at the Heriot side. And they start with a front row of Alison Wilson, Megan Taylor and Millie Capaldi, both props involved in the Edinburgh Rugby squad last season. Second row pairing of Charlotte Harrison and Ailsa Murray, and the back row sees captain Pearl Kelly alongside Matilda Dady and Ailey Collins. A half-back pairing of Amelia Evans and Kirsty Venter. The centre partnership is Bethan Cameron and Harriet Fish. In the back three, Alice Savage, Helen Frater and Hannah Riddick. Only 17 players available for Heriots this afternoon, with Rebecca Healy and Tyne Jenkinson on the bench. And the visitors start with Philippa Abernethy and Amy Johnston either side of hooker Canadian Senna Mara. In second row pairing is Lauren Crawford and Caitlin McGowan, and in the back row captain Kate Yeomans is joined by Rowan Davidson and Siobhan McGinley. Half-back pairing ex-Geary player Janice Miles alongside Glasgow Warrior Carla MacDonald. The centres are Millie Warren and Abby Bruce, and in the back three another Glasgow Warrior, Roma Fraser at fullback, with Beth Tobin and Brogan Carberry on the wings. A stacked bench for Hillhead Jordanhill. Stella Kailukunda, originally from Uganda, will make her 100th appearance for Hillhead Jordanhill. Captain Kate Yeomans leads the Hill side out. And a notable milestone in the Heriots side, Megan Taylor, the hooker, will make her 50th appearance for Heriots. She's been here with Heriots since day one, as the Hillside form a huddle. The Heriots players just down in front of us forming a guard of honour for their hooker Megan Taylor. 50th appearance. Let's say the sides met here 10 months ago, Heriots winning 38-12 on that occasion. Hillhead Jordanhill have edged the most recent encounters, winning the reverse fixture by 22 points to 0. That one played interestingly at Peppermill, with most of Scotland unplayable at the start of December last year, and then again here in March on their way to the Sarah Beanie Cup final, beating Heriots by 29 points to 19. So Hills perhaps favourites coming into this afternoon's match, but Heriots will be desperate to kickstart their campaign on home soil. Referee this afternoon, Chelsea Gillespie. She's assisted by Beatrice Cazares Fernandez and Digby Thomas. It will be Hillhead Jordanhill to kick off. It's Carla MacDonald sends that ball down towards the 22, just takes one bounce out into touch. And we'll have a Heriots line out alongside me this afternoon in commentary, Dale Clancy.
Yeah, Hillhead getting off to, from the restart there, just finding that little patch of ground where I think Heriots were caught a little bit cold, just not occupied at all, and I think a little bit of indecision there as well from the forwards just to plug that gap, but it gives a chance for Heriots to try and secure some ball, but I think Hillhead will be wanting to try and put a little bit of pressure as well from this line-out.
Well, it's Megan Taylor on her 50th appearance with the throw, but it's been won by Hillhead Jordanhill, and Janice Miles sweeps the ball away to Carla MacDonald and out into the midfield. So options both ways, but long pass back The referee spotting a knock-on in there though, so Heriots survive and they'll have a scrum just outside their 22.
It's interesting to see, just even from the opening minute, the first time Hillhead have had the ball in hand, you can see that they obviously want to play with a bit of tempo. You know, Carla McDonald, their fly half, just being able to get the ball quickly through her hands, was able to bring Yeomans into play, but just knocked on. And they'll be a bit disappointed, not able to get any momentum, but Heriots inside their own half will hopefully try and clear their lines.
Well, pressure comes on at scrum time from Hillhead Jordanhill. Somehow Heriots rescue the situation and look to play away from their 22. That ball's been knocked on. The referee playing advantage to Hillhead Jordanhill once again on the attack. Just midway between the Heriots 10-metre line and 22. Philippa Abernethy pulls the ball out the back to Carla McDonald. There's numbers across on the right hand touchline. Roma Fraser involved in the Celtic Challenge with Glasgow Warriors last season, and back it goes to Amy Johnston. Missed the whole of last season with a knee injury. Great to see her back on the pitch. Hillhead Jordanhill just keeping things tight through the forwards. This time it's Lauren Crawford. And the number 8, Kate Yeomans, the captain, striding into the 22. And now the backs have a go back to Roma Fraser. She's got a player outside her. And this will be the first try. She finds Beth Tobin. Goes in the corner. Hillhead Jordanhill going through the phases with the forwards, working their way into the 22, and just picked the perfect moment to go wide. Roma Fraser giving the scoring pass to Beth Tobin.
There's a couple of occasions there that Roma Fraser was instrumental in the build-up. First time she had options outside her and just opted to just drift it back in field and keep the passage of play going. And you see here that the next decision is she going to go alone? She's almost got the angle there, but just blocks off the covering defence coming across there from Savage, and able to just lay what looks like in the end an easy try for Tobin. But the work from the forwards, you know, that patient build-up, going round the corner, building the phases and just narrowing that defence. It was really good, a really good start there from Hillhead.
Carla McDonald, his sister Mary, Scotland international, plays then at Exeter with the conversion.
And she's had a bright start as well. You know, it's only been 3 minutes gone, but you can just see her class with looking at where the gaps are in the Heriots defence. She's not just keep folding round and going with the passage of play and the momentum. She's really looking to try and pick the holes, and you see there that pass that she put on for Fraser, and eventually into the hands of Tobin to score in the corner. Good accuracy from the backs from Hillhead.
That's captain again, Kate Yeomans, who just saw a second or two ago on the replay, setting up the final ruck from which Hillhead Jordanhill scored. And again, it's to the backs, and Roma Fraser just showing all her pace and skills, and finds Tobin again. Can Tobin go in for a brace? She's been pulled down back inside to Roma Fraser, and Fraser will go in behind the post for the second try in the space of a minute for Hillhead Jordanhill. And it's the same two players combining, Roma Fraser and Beth Tobin, attacking down the standside touchline, and this time it's Fraser, the fullback, who goes in for the score.
And no wonder she's smiling. She's had a brilliant opening 5 minutes here, but the balance of running there is just what ends up disrupting the defence, getting into the wider channels. The ball in two hands, finds the gap, tucks it, backs herself, and just some great footwork there just to get on the outside. And this is interesting here as well, because it's quite easy to die with the ball, but stayed up tall. The tackle eventually slipped, but to keep that momentum, that support play going through from Roma Fraser, very impressive from, and certainly that pair so far in this game. And yeah, it's a delightful start for Hillhead Jordanhill.
And that looks like Millie Warren this time with the conversion attempt. And it's good as the flags go up. So the conversion successful by Millie Warren, adding the 2 extras to Roma Fraser's try. And Beth Tobin striking just a minute or so before, and Hillhead Jordanhill quickly find themselves in the ascendancy, leading by 12 points to 0.
That's a great angle there, just to see, you know, Fraser running with the ball in her hand. Just the defence really just don't commit to making that challenge, and yeah, just so you can see the momentum continuing through. And brilliant play there from Hillhead.
Use it!
A good tackle though by Heriot's outside centre, Harriet Fish, joined from New Zealand, but perhaps surprisingly, didn't play over there. Just started playing rugby when she arrived in Edinburgh, so a relative beginner to the game, showing that she can certainly tackle. The ball sent long by Hills, picked up by Hannah Riddick at the back for Heriot's.
It was an odd positioning, but hey.
Unlucky there from Heriot, so the ball went back. It was Riddick trying to play out from her own 22, and then obviously looked to try and bring Venter in as well, but it's just drifted forward. But just another yard, and that's a disrupted defence that Heriots are attacking. But you know, just with the float of the ball just drifting slightly forward means they're under a little bit of pressure again, because this is an attacking scrum, and you can see just perhaps just not being able to twist and contort her body around enough to get the ball back. But yeah, it's perhaps marginal, but a tough call on Heriot.
A great position here for Hillhead Jordanhill to strike from the scrum. Carla McDonald takes the ball to the line, then off to her inside centre, combines with Abby Bruce, the outside centre, pass by Millie Warren, and then out they go to the left wing. This time Heriot's struggling to get across, and it will be Brogan Carberry to go in for the third try. That's all of the back three for Hillhead Jordanhill on the score sheet already. Beth Tobin with the first, Roma Fraser with the second, and now Brogan Carberry, a PE teacher in her first year teaching, goes over on the left flank for Hillhead Jordanhill.
You just watch the build-up play here, and this is mostly about the backs. We said obviously in the build-up to the first try it was all the forwards, but support there quickly from the forwards. But look at the fizz on this pass. Just all the passes that have come from that half-back pair and have been accurate, they've been fast, they've been flat to the line as well. And I think that combination of Miles and McDonald is, you know, there's been individual brilliance in there from Fraser and Tobin linking up as well. But that half-back pair are an impressive pairing so far. You know, the pace that they get on that ball when they're distributing it from the base of that ruck is pretty impressive.
That's fine.
The conversion
Yep.
drops short. Who's trying to work out which of Carla McDonald
You guys form up.
Millie Warren took that. We've already both had a crack each. I think that was Millie Warren again. You can see her there giving the pass to her centre partner Abby Bruce, and then it was from this ruck here, moved the ball quickly, and then that pass out to Brogan Carberry. Still a fair bit of work to do. The sparing tackle at the end there by Kirsty Venter. Heriot's half-back. It's 3 quick-fire tries for Hillhead Jordanhill, filled with confidence. And Millie Warren, the Glasgow University captain, strides forward into contact, and the ball pulled back by the forwards to Carla McDonald. Looking for space, a kind bounce for Hannah Riddick. Needs to escape up the left touchline. Caught by Beth Tobin, the first try scorer.
Last feet, Alex, last feet. Thank you.
Heriot's slow ball just on their side of halfway. Alison Wilson, another player who was in the Edinburgh Rugby squad, played the final game against the Wolfhounds. Heriot's losing ground there, all the way back to their 10-metre line. Ball knocked on though by Hillhead Jordanhill, so Heriot's will have the put into the scrum, but struggling to make any headway against a solid Hillhead Jordanhill defence.
Yeah, I think you look at the opening 10 minutes of this game, even straight from the restart, you know, that's gone out just shy of the 22, and you feel that Heriots have been camped in since then. Hillhead Jordanhill have taken their opportunities, and as soon as the ball's been kicked back, they've been able just to get played back down here. I've been really impressed with the structure so far, you know, playing off the pods of forwards coming round, but also linking up with outside backs. It's really asking questions of Heriots, and it's actually probably part of the reason they've been camped down here for so long.
Stay, flankers, stay!
It's a better scrum for Heriots. Under real pressure in the first one. Chance for them to attack again up the left touchline, but ball couldn't be taken cleanly there by left wing Alice Savage. The referee was playing an advantage though.
Thank you.
All the back Chelsea Gillespie there. She's actually involved in the WXV warm-ups. 3 games coming up. She's down in Gloucester next week. Running touch assistant referee, as they're known now, for the England versus France game, and she's at Twickenham for England against New Zealand the following week, and then in Newport for Wales against Australia. It's great to see Chelsea being rewarded with those opportunities.
I think it's great to see. You think of Holly Davidson as well and the accolades she's had in terms of refereeing, and Chelsea was involved in a lot of the Super Series, the semi-professional ranks as well. So, you know, I think Scottish Rugby perhaps a bit of a leading light in terms of women match officials as well. And this is again just another great level for them to be exposed to as well.
Holding.
Heriot's line out on halfway. Megan Taylor, one of the originals here at Goldenacre. It's a big collision.
Play. No hands now,
in the midfield. That looked like Ailey Collins, who's normally a front row, playing at number 8 today for Heriots. And there's numbers out here on the left touchline if Heriots can get the ball out there. Across comes Roma Fraser to make the tackle. Heriots up over halfway. They need to work hard to get that ball back at the breakdown.
Use it.
Amelia Evans.
Use it.
Sweeps that ball out, rather high into contact, but still making ground there. And then a little chip over the top by Kirsty Venter. And this could bounce up kindly for the fly half, then steps off the right foot, looks for support. And gets it from her number 8, Hayley Collins. So Heriots just outside the 22. This time it's Alison Wilson. And Heriots into the 22 for the first time, looking to get themselves on the scoreboard. It's a loose pass, should have been taken. I was going to say no harm done, but the ball goes to Rex. Still no knock on, so it's with Heriots.
Use it.
Back to Charlotte Harrison.
Use your feet.
Amelia Evans, again, just has to wait on that ball coming back. Kirsty Venter sweeps the ball out to Bethan Cameron. She was met by the defence just as she caught that ball.
Lost now, Red. Lost now, Red. Come on, leave it.
Very slow ball here for Heriots. Loud blast in the whistle though. Penalty to the home side, and quick tap by Evans. And now it's Millie Capaldi. Another Edinburgh Rugby player. Takes play up to 5 metres from that Hillhead Jordanhill line again. Numbers across to the right hand side, and perhaps just keep things too tight. Still with Alison Wilson though. Both props involved in the play. Heriots just 2 metres short now. Defence by Hillhead Jordanhill.
Stop here.
And the referee
Thank you.
brings play to a halt. Players down, I think, from both sides, so an injury there, but that's better from Heriots.
A lot better, and I think part of it has come back to a little bit of individual brilliance from Venter. Just that little chip over the top has probably just shocked Hillhead a little bit, and they know there's a danger there. So a great play, a great quick tap as well, and then to go like this was back to the chip and chase. Like that pick up there is brilliant, to be able to even get their head up and see what the options are and get the offload in. It was brilliant, a little bit of brilliance that probably Heriots needed. They've not had a lot of ball, they've not had a lot of retention of it. So it's the first time they've really had it, and they've thrown caution to the wind, knowing they have to. And they got in a good position there. You know, you think about that big carry coming round the corner from Capaldi. When quick penalties taken, she's angled the run back in field to that weak spot, but it's the next passage of play. There was numbers up, as you'd said, Bruce, and the ball needs to go then. There was two Hillhead defenders against probably about 4 or 5 Heriots attackers, so it's just a matter of accuracy after that. But you know, they're in a good position now, and they'll be hoping to try and keep Hillhead down here for a period of time.
We were looking at Kirsty Venter with the number 10 jersey on her back for Heriots, dual registered with nearby Broughton. We're now looking at what looks like the first change of the day. Tyne Jenkinson with the number 17 jersey. Looks like she'll have to come on. I think that's Millie Capaldi, because the tight head prop with a brilliant carry. I think that was roughly where she was tackled. We'll see in a second. We'll not want to lose her. She looks like she's. It's not Capaldi. It's actually Megan Taylor. I think was perhaps involved in the clear out after Capaldi's carry. But the replacement not required. Heriots with just those 2 replacements, both front row qualified, Rebecca Healy and Tyne Jenkinson.
Crutch! Bind!
So enough of a blind side here that Hillhead Jordanhill have to have a winger there. Rogan Carberry. the back division, strung across to the left. What can Heriots do here? And it goes to Harriet Fish, goes herself, and Fish dragged down just a couple of metres short. Counter ruck comes on from Hillhead Jordanhill, and then they win themselves a penalty, so they hold on to that 17 points advantage, but Heriots just starting to show what they're capable of.
I think it looked like it was Beth and Cameron who got on the floor, and it was great work to fight and get that penalty, and Heriots almost able to keep it in there as well. More promising from Heriots.
It was Alice Savage trying to keep that ball in, and Hannah Riddick.
Defensive line there.
We'll have another look at it here as Heriots put the ball through the hands, and Fish perhaps should have put that ball out, but we can see one of the Hillhead Jordanhill players coming. That's a great position there as she comes in, gets hands on ball, wins the penalty for her side.
Digby, can you get her in, please? 2 by 2.
Philippa Abernethy, the loose head prop for Hillhead Jordanhill, tasked with throwing in Senamara, the Canadian hooker, relatively new to the position, so I don't think has quite mastered the art of throwing in just yet, but the ball won by Heriots. Going into this game, we'd rather not be chasing a 17 points to 0 difference, but getting more possession. That's a loose pass, though. It's been won by Hillhead Jordanhill. Showing a real willingness to attack from Enwa. Tipped on to Philippa Abernethy. Our twin Kate sitting away across to our right, place for Watsonians.
5-8-2, retire!
Hillhead Jordanhill put boot to ball there. Perhaps thinking about 50-22, but
you go back.
The referee, a blast on the whistle. I think perhaps offside.
4-8, offside in front of the kicker. Must retire
offside
backward.
in the kick forward there from Carla McDonald. It was Millie Warren who was the 12 who actually got the penalty underneath the post. I did credit the Heriots player, but it was a great bit of work on the floor. But you were saying there about Heriots not wanting to think about coming back to a 17-0 deficit, and they've probably given Hillhead a little bit too much respect in the opening exchanges, and then realised, there's opportunities here out in this pitch.
Well, it's quicker ball, and Venter with a little kick over the top. And regathered their own kick 2 or 3 minutes ago. Tries the same. It's won by Hillhead Jordanhill on this occasion. And back they go to the forwards. Denting that Heriot's defensive line. Back it goes to McDonald. Eyes up the space. Sends that high. That will find grass and bounces unkindly for the Heriots back 3. And then the ball goes loose. It's hacked through by Millie Warren. The Hills inside centre has been heavily involved in the game, still with Heriots, but they've lost an awful lot of ground here back in their own 10-metre line. Again, finding some space on the left touchline. Ball lost though in the tackle by Matilda Dady, Italian blindside flanker.
Yes, you can. No, you need to retire. No,
it's really good defence when Hillhead are in the Heriots half. They're putting a lot of pressure on Heriot. Sometimes you feel that if they just get the ball a little bit wider, maybe a little bit quicker here, you'll see when Dady did have the ball, you feel just if they can shift it, probably, at that point, just get it to the wider channel, the player just outside of that, it maybe gives you an option to just buy a little bit more time, allow the support to fold round, but it just shows you the defence that's coming on from Hillhead Jordanhill. They're really tenacious in the opposition's half, putting a lot of pressure higher up the field, which is, gives you those attacking platforms that you get here.
Yes, there have been 2 or 3 occasions where Heriots have had space on this stand-side touchline, which you say they've maybe just not got it through the hands quickly enough, maybe not straightened their lines of running and allowed the defence to switch across. Well, Hillhead Jordanhill attacking down this 15-metre channel, and it's Carla McDonald has to carry the ball herself. The crowd not particularly happy there, I think, questioning whether there's some crossing there, but Philippa Abernethy, another big tackle, this time by the captain, Pearl Kelly, playing at open side flanker today. Was in the Glasgow Warriors squad last year as a winger. Fancies herself now as a forward.
No wonder with hits like that.
Absolutely, yes. Well, Hill's just on the fringes now of the 22. Heriot's defence looks in good shape as Hillhead Jordanhill keep things tight through Lauren Crawford and Philip Abernethy again. That's a big carry. Dragged down about 10 metres short. Quick ball here and out they go to McDonald again. Slings the ball out to Abby Bruce. Roma Fraser out to Beth Tobin again as the fullback and wing combine. Stopped just short. Quick ball again for Janice Miles. And now the forwards crash their way over. The referee on the spot awards the try. Hillhead Jordanhill over for the bonus point try. And it looks like it's Senamara, the hooker, who comes up with the ball.
Yep, I was happy with your tackle. We got there first.
Yeah, very good build-up play yet again. And it said that, I think it was the opening minute that we were talking about the tempo that Hillhead Jordanhill want to play at, and I think you watch the simple things in the build-up to this try. The ball presentation is presented really far back so that they can get the covering defence over, that the clear out can go over. And just looking to draw in the defender. Great footwork there on the wing from Tobin. Just able to get enough time for the support to get there. Ball presented back there, clear for the scrum half to check out the options, and then the carries and the pods are there, aided by our teammate just to nudge over the line. It's sometimes the simple the application of the game reaps these rewards, and I think in the balance of play so far, Hillhead have just been a little bit more accurate at the basics.
Heriot's unable to get themselves off the line there in defence just with that last carry. And Senamara, the Canadian hooker, crashes over for the fourth try, and that is a lovely conversion by Carla McDonald. Carla McDonald and Millie Warren trading conversions. McDonald successful on that occasion. Another look at it here, the ball out into the wide channels. Roma Fraser combining again with Beth Tobin. A tackle there by Hannah Riddick. But from the next phase, Hillhead Jordanhill forwards just too powerful.
You just look at that gap that's then afforded, just the players probably peeling round to the wrong side. You just close that gap a little bit more, and you've got an opportunity probably to try and thwart that forward carry just a little bit better, a little bit more effectively. But again, good finishing, good execution there from the Hillhead women.
Philip Abernethy, the loose head prop again, enjoying her afternoon so far.
Kick's going up.
Ball in hand.
Well done, ladies.
Let's go long again. Just stays in the field of play. Picked up at the back by Hannah Riddick. It's good strength by the fullback, takes play up over halfway, and hands come in from Millie Warren. And the referee playing an advantage, and good work by the Hills inside centre.
Yeah, I can definitely credit her this time. It was great work on the floor. You've seen before in the passage of play that was close to their try line, she just actually floated round. As soon as the ball got past, she's actually working hard in behind. She's one of those players that probably likes to fight on the floor and sniffs an opportunity. He's done it again there, just able to get body position nice and strong, suffocate the ball. The Heriot girls just couldn't get her out the road, and then the penalty comes away at Hillhead.
On the line, please, White. White's on the line.
Digby Thomas, assistant referee on this side. Abernethy throw into the line out just outside the Heriots 22, not challenged, so won by the visitors. Out to Carla McDonald again, just this switch with Millie Warren. He's being used heavily by Hillhead Jordanhill, showing up well in defence as well, and there's numbers across to the left but didn't quite get their timing right there. It was perhaps Siobhan McGinley able to take the pass, but no knock on, it's still with Hillhead Jordanhill.
Thank you.
Fairly central, but across the come to the right, and ball stabbed through by Carla McDonald. That might well work for the fly half. Kicks it through again and picked up at the back by Heriots.
She's
kindly for Carla McDonald. Would perhaps have been in, but the referee saying Heriots not rolling away as Hillhead Jordanhill turned that ball over and they're not hanging around. It's McDonald again. Out it goes this time to the other centre. Abby Bruce cuts back inside off her right foot. Stopped just a metre or two short, but picked up by Janice Miles. The scrum half alert to the opportunity, and as Heriots didn't fill the gap quickly enough around the breakdown, and Miles ex-Geary player, goes in for the 5th try for the visitors.
Started it with a quick tap, and again, just this awareness, this balance you can see as a fly half. You know, McDonald's always looking at the line, looking at her support, and she was afforded probably far too much time there to be able to pick her options. You can see they're just off screen directing traffic, but Miles just spots the gap and can pick and go round the corners, and that's what happens. You know, we were talking about the tempo of Hillhead Jordanhill. You know, that's what happens when you're playing a team that play at this pace. You're going to start getting tired, and those little elements of your game, when you're working hard to get into defence, they start to go a little bit slack, and Miles was able just to pick off that opportunity there.
The kicking tee has been handed back to Millie Warren. A hint of I'm probably showing my age here. I was going to say Les Cabura, the French kicker of many years ago. Just a little step up and hoof it as hard as you can, and that's her second successful conversion. She converted the second try, scored by Roma Fraser.
I can confirm you're showing your age.
I do it more often than I ought to nowadays. Another quick look at the score here. Janice Miles going through between Perro Kelly. There were 2 defenders on hand, but just didn't quite get themselves set quickly enough. And Hill's forwards getting involved now. Kate Yeoman's taking that, giving that to her back row partner Siobhan McGinley.
On now.
And Hillhead Jordanhill happy to kick, finding grass again, but a good carry by Hannah Rudder.
15 out.
Buys enough time for support to get there. And the hooker Megan Taylor.
Advantage high tackle.
A big collision there. Millie Capaldi hit by Amy Johnston.
Right,
Missed the whole of last season. That knee injury. Heriot shift the ball out to the right flank. Play on their 10-metre line. Really struggling to get any go forward, and that ball's come out on the Hillhead Jordanhill side, but the referee was playing an advantage. High tackle.
5.
Anything above sternum height now is considered a high tackle. I did wonder when the 2 props collided. I think that will be the tackle that was penalised, but a break in play here for some treatment to one of the Heriot's players over on the far side. I think it's Helen Frater.
Yeah, one part of the game that we've noticed, you just alluded to, is how busy Riddick has been at fullback, and you know, although they're, you know, Heriots are 31-0 down, she's done very little wrong. You know, this was one of the earlier errors from Heriots when they were trying to get the ball wide, but you know, Riddick at fullback has been pretty impressive for Heriots, I would say. Been pretty steady, covered the field well, and probably not been afforded a lot of opportunity to really get into some space. You know, not a lot of build up to get her into some space, but we've just seen a big hit coming in from Kelly, the captain. Obviously I mentioned the move to the back row, and that is exactly the kind of impact that she brings from that position. That was certainly under the sternum.
There's been some big hits, some really good tackles in the game so far.
I think the big thing, the glaring difference at the moment between, you know, you look at the scoreline, and the reason behind that, I just think is the way that Hillhead have approached the game. I've mentioned the tempo. They want to play at a bit of pace, but not just that. They've got a really good structure. You know, their fly half is kicking to space, which is really penning Heriot's back inside their own half, and not just that. When, you know, it's not just as she gets the ball and she's going to kick it. You know, the options with the forward pod in front, you don't know whether they're going to carry or they'll link up with the 10, and then she's got options, and that is the big thing. When Heriots have got the ball at the moment, options are limited, and when Hillhead have it, you think there's probably 2 or 3 different things that they can do from most passages of play, which, you know, as a defensive line, it's really difficult to then, you know, try to keep your levels up really high, because you're getting asked various questions all the time. So if you think about the difference between these two sides just now, it's probably a bit of tempo and probably that bit of structure as well.
High tackle. Time's on.
Well, Helen Frater seems to be okay, so another false alarm down in the Heriot's replacement bench. Tyne Jenkinson warmed up for the second time. Still not needed. It's a good kick from the penalty, goes into touch just down in front of us by Hannah Riddick, just on your screen there.
2 by 2, thank
Through
you.
a power of work already in this first half at fullback. Plenty of questions asked of her by Carla McDonald. Megan Taylor just right down in front of our commentary position, just sails over the hands of Caitlin McGowan, almost got to it, but it's won by Heriot. Good hands by Kirsty Venter. And out to Helen Frater from Harriet Fish, and away she goes up the right touchline, and this could be the Heriot's try up into the 22. And that's a brilliant strike by Heriot, and it is Hannah Riddick. We just spoke about what she's done in defence. Well, we've seen exactly what she is capable of in attack. Got that ball inside her own half as Heriot put it through the hands of the back division, and Hannah Riddick just racing away and touches down over in that right hand corner, and Heriots do get themselves on the scoreboard.
Great defensive cover that came across as well from Tobin, but we were talking about it, and then look at this link up play just out the back there, the fly half wrapping round, brilliant play from Venter and just accuracy. But we'd said about Riddick, she'd been really busy in the opening exchanges. That pass, brilliant. The full back there, Fraser coming up, and
just in line with
just look at the pace from Riddick there, just backing herself. She's got the ball in the right hand, ready for the left hand fend. When Tobin gets across, I thought it was potentially almost going to be held up, but you can see the fight at the end, just able to get the ball down. She's been a busy individual so far in this game, and she'll be chuffed to get a chance to stretch her legs. That was a brilliant finish there from the fullback, but really good build-up play from the backs, and also the inclusion there of Collins at number 8 linking up with Venter.
Well, the conversion attempt unsuccessful.
Is she okay?
Brilliant try there by Heriot. Let's have another look at it from the line out. Won by Pearl Kelly, the captain, and then out through the hands of the Heriot's back line, and then all the way to Hannah Riddick.
You see that angled run going back in field, that's the one that's fixed the defence. That's what's afforded this space in the wider channel, because the defence hasn't been able to just drift across quite effortlessly, and this is just a matter of raw pace after that. Great covering effort there from Tobin coming off of her natural wing, but the fight on the floor to get that ball down is really good, and yeah, hopefully she's able to shake off that knock that she's received.
Yeah, no, she's gone. So
it doesn't look likely. I think looks like Riddick is just walking under the post. Still got a smile on her face, but it is third time lucky for Jenkinson. She's now on the pitch.
Yep, there you go. Tyne Jenkinson, been warmed up twice. Sad to see Hannah Riddick coming off. I'm hoping that she may well, because you say she still has a smile on her face. She plays the game like that. I don't see any obvious injuries, so we will perhaps see Riddick again. But here go Heriot's playing with a little more confidence, just outside their 22. Venter happy to keep the ball in hand. It's a good carry. Here come the hands again from Hillhead Jordanhill, challenging the breakdown. It's just keeping things tight, making 2 or 3 metres at a time. In goes Amelia Evans. Quick look to the right, actually comes to the left, and again the forwards. This time it's out the back to Venter. Looked inside and just throws the ball out, plucked out there by Beth Tobin. Hillhead Jordanhill right wing, just lurking there, looking for the interception, and it was the glance inside by Kirsty Venter. I think as she turned round to give the pass, she'd lost sight of Tobin and had let go of the ball before she realised that it was a Hillhead Jordanhill player standing in the path, and Tobin goes in for her second try of the game.
That was exactly it. You'll see here just that look back inside when Venter gets the ball, completely unawares who was lurking outside when she was going to be spreading that ball a little bit wider. And wingers have that natural instinct to just be able to seize that opportunity. So just got in that space, was able to just get in between that attacking line from Heriot. So when the ball eventually did get through the hands, you'll see here just that look back inside for the runner, fixed on the defence. You can't see what's outside of it. And outside of her was the hands of Tobin to go in for a second try. Well finished, but again just probably that little bit of lack of awareness.
It's Carla McDonald's turn again with the conversion, the easiest of the day so far, out in front of the posts. She makes no mistake with that. 4th successful conversion. 6 tries already in this first half for Hillhead Jordanhill. Still 8.5 minutes to play in the opening period here at Goldenacre. little uncertainty by Caitlin McGowan. Scottish Police, second row.
Back, on now.
Takes the ball into contact, and then back it goes to Carla McDonald, finds Pearl Kelly, and back to Venter.
Backward.
She certainly looks bright in that Heriot's number 10 jersey, which has lost the ball in contact there. And again, out through the hands quickly to Roma Fraser. Put over the top, looking again for Beth Tobin. It's been tidied up by Alice Savage. And then Venter sends that ball downfield, bounces away from Millie Warren.
That's a very intelligent kick. It was just split, you could see the gap. Really good there.
Warren catches that fairly well, finds grass, bounces up kindly for Pearl Kelly though. I think the number 7 jersey, but quite at home there in the back three for Heriot. And now their space opens up, and Heriot's up towards halfway, and that's Beth Cameron looking around for support. Driven back now, won by Hillhead Jordanhill in fact. Back it goes again to Carla McDonald, standing as if the kick, but spotted space down this right hand touchline. Roma Fraser goes again and looks round for support. Tobin's not quite close enough. She's side down just on the edge of the 22. Janice Miles again, just looking for forward runners. It's Amy Johnston. Miles just lifts the ball again and pulled back by the forwards. Just move play a little wider. That's a lovely angled run by Siobhan McGinley, the open side flanker. It looked like Hills would keep things tight again. The pod of forwards just pulling the ball back to Carla McDonald, and then a lovely line by McGinley to go over for what's now the 7th try for the visitors.
Yeah, I think you're mentioning it there in the build-up. I think the positional play of McDonald, the distribution of McDonald has been the catalyst for a lot of these good things from Hillhead Jordanhill. But McGinley's angle, we'll get a good sight of it coming up, but McGinley's angle was one of those ones that was really hard to defend when the defence is starting to try and fold round with the passage of play. She just went the complete other angle and really made it difficult. You can see there, just hits the ball at pace, hits it at an angle, and it's clear. It's a clear path in towards the try. It's almost as if there's tram tracks there, because she just went straight on them all the way to the try line.
The conversion again is good by Millie Warren. Another look at the try. Denise Miles initially to Amy Johnston. Well, in fact, no, it was Senna Mara, the hooker. And then there it looked like they would keep things tight, just held the Heriot's defence, and this ball pulled out the back in one pass, just shifting it a little wider, and Siobhan McGinley picking the perfect angle.
And that's what you talk about, the options out there. You've got the ball distributed to a forward, linking up with a fly half, and the ball wasn't gathered, cleanly, but still, has the awareness of support outside to just hit a run it, and they're straight in behind, and it was a good bit of build up there from Hillhead Jordanhill yet again.
And that's the try scorer McGinley from the restart, taking play up to the Hills 10 metre line. And again, it's the same player, Lauren Crawford, showing good skills just to pull the ball back into the hands of Carla McDonald. And Hillhead Jordanhill finding it fairly easy to take play up towards halfway. Another tip on pass, the forwards combining, Mara involved, and then out to Lauren Crawford in the second row,
tackle,
working their way up towards the 22. Again, the two players combining, McDonald and McGinley. Out they go to the far touchline, dragged down by desperate Heriot's defence.
Vantage 10, not rolling.
Hill's only 10 metres away now, and again the forwards just shifting the point of contact as Philippa Abernethy crashes into contact. A loose pass there, still be with Hillhead Jordanhill. The referee in fact was playing advantage, not rolling away at the breakdown.
10, roll.
And it's probably quite a good time to not roll away, and you've not got a card either. It was something really needed to happen to try and slow that down, because Fraser and Carberry were certainly eyeing up that corner over there.
Janice Miles with the tap out to Philippa Abernethy, just tipping that ball on, keeping the Heriot's defence guessing. And he's strung across their own 5 metre line, but unable to hold firm as Hills go over again. I think that is Lauren Crawford, Durham University player formerly, also played over in Hong Kong, now with Hillhead Jordanhill, and she goes in for their 8th try of the afternoon.
That one's probably more just down to a bit of brute force. Again, just looking to try and simple play, moving the point of contact, setting up the platform. You can see Hillhead getting numbers there as well, just to thwart any attempt to try and steal the ball, picking and going round the corner, and just a weak pocket, just a weak tackle there. You know, and to be fair, it's probably quite harsh on Kelly, because, you know, in open play, the tackles have been phenomenal from the Heriot's captain, but they are just slipping the tackle, just not being able to just grasp on and stop that forward momentum. But a good try, and both second rows involved in, you know, the start of that passage of play, and then obviously finishing it at the end.
Carla McDonald appears to have missed that one. Sails past the right hand upright, but Hills now have hit the 50-point mark. Another look at it here as Lauren Crawford fights her way through the fence, and the heart perhaps going out of the Heriot's players, particularly in defence.
And it's difficult as well, as, you know, trying things like that short restart, but there was a period of the game where there's been probably about 8 minutes, 7 minutes where, you know, Heriot's looked like the better of the two sides, able to get a bit of momentum, pressure in the opposition's half. But, you know, as soon as Hillhead Jordanhill, in all sports, there's going to be passages of play where one team's, you know, gets a bit of momentum, but Hillhead Jordanhill were able to kind of weather the storm and then return it and put the pressure back on Heriot at a critical time in the game as well. You know, the last 10-12 minutes of the first half to really put a big bit of daylight in between the two sides.
Well, this should be the last play of the first half. Can Hillhead Jordanhill strike again? Roma Fraser, lovely balanced running, cuts back inside and again takes play up to the edge of that Heriot's 22. It's just relentless now by the visitors, and again it's Lauren Crawford, burst her way through the defence. This time she's dragged down about 12 metres short. Ball put through by Carla McDonald. It's looking for a kind bounce, but instead it's been won at the back by Heriot's. They'll look to just get this ball hacked upfield. A chance here for Hillhead Jordanhill to attack once more through Millie Warren. Again, that's a nicely timed pass to Roma Fraser. Out to winger Brogan Carberry. And can Carberry go in for her second try? Cuts back inside and dragged down again. That's a good tackle, just 2 or 3 metres short. And then holding on the deck, Heriots do survive. Good work by Heriots. Well, that was me just saying the heart perhaps going out with them. That's unfair, because they've just done a brilliant job with scramble defence there, holding out Hillhead Jordanhill when it looked almost certain that they would score, and they just kicked that ball off the park. And with that, the referee, Chelsea Gillespie, blows for half time. Yeah, and I think that was something that might give them a little bit of encouragement in the second half. There's a little bit of a golfing class in this game between these two sides, but, you know, there's still a lot to play for in terms of building a bit of momentum into the kind of the rest of the campaign. But that's exactly what you want from your captain, Kelly, with a great fight over the ball, stopped what would have been a nailed-on score if she wasn't there, because there was support there from Hillhead Jordanhill. But yeah, you've got to applaud them. They've played with a lot of discipline, a lot of direction, a lot of structure, and they've been very, very impressive, and just picking up from where they left off last week. The two teams just heading into the changing rooms under the stand here at Goldenacre. The pitch looking fantastic, you have to say. The rain has held off and hopefully will continue to. You see confirmation there of the half-time score. Heriot's Rugby 5, Hillhead Jordanhill 50. Very one-sided first half. 8 tries for the visitors, just the one for Heriot's. We'll have a look at the highlights just shortly. So let's have a look at the tries. It was only 2 minutes into the game when Hillhead Jordanhill went in for the first. It was right wing Beth Tobin.
Yeah, again, it was pretty much a kind of nailed on pattern in the opening exchanges. The involvement of Fraser, Carla McDonald pulling the strings, but Tobin there going in for a good try. And from there, Hillhead Jordanhill didn't really look back. They'd had a really good start to the game, but yeah, been very impressed with the link-up play between the likes of Fraser and McDonald in particular at fly half.
Roma Fraser giving the scoring pass there, but she was the second try scorer.
Yeah, and again, just demonstrating her danger, ball in hand, picks the gap in defence, able just to back herself. Great footwork as well. There was only one thing she was doing, ball tucked underneath her left arm, but just the supporting line here, continuing the momentum going through. And yeah, it didn't take long for Beth Tobin to return the favour for Roma Fraser to lay it on for a try. Probably one of the, that was probably one of the most well worked tries. Individual brilliance there from Fraser at fullback, and this is a great angle of it as well. Just being able to see that gap there, determination to really capitalise on what was in front of her. Great balance running, and you can just see that supporting line. Still looking at the passage of play, screaming on the ball. Yeah, I've been very impressed with the Hillhead Jordanhill fullback.
Well, the whole back division there, just every pass out in front. Well, that was the right wing, and then the fullback with the first two tries, and then it was the turn of Brogan Carberry out on the left wing.
Yeah, again, this was probably, a bit about the forwards building up, but the accuracy here, the fizz of the pass of those half-back pairings, I think at the time, we said about tempo and playing with a real pace. That half-back pairing of Miles and McDonald have really been fizzing the ball away from that breakdown, looking to get a lot of width. And no wonder when you've got Tobin and Carberry on the wing, you certainly want to get them in some space. And yeah, again, good build-up play from Hillhead Jordanhill. It's the direct running as well. The direct running to really fix defenders. Heriots are having to work hard to, you can see they're really disjointed in defence, and that's because they're getting really fixed. A couple of players having to dig in and make the one tackle.
Well, Hillhead Jordanhill raced into a 17 points nil advantage, but it's about now that Heriots managed to work their way into the game. Little chip over the top there by Kirsty Venter, gathered the ball herself and looked round, found support, and Heriots went very close on this occasion.
Yeah, we've probably seen some of their players starting to grow into the game, their forwards as well. Wilson and Capaldi in particular playing really well, and this was a great opportunity looking to attack. It was a dig in there from Heriot Fish, but you see the work over the ball from Millie Warren in the shadow of the sticks, just being able to track behind the defensive line and really go in for it. When the ball was on the ground, really suffocating that ball, and it allowed Hillhead Jordanhill to get out of their danger zone.
Back came Hillhead Jordanhill, Roma Fraser and Beth Tobin heavily involved again. Tobin stopped just short, but from this phase of play, Senna Mara, the hooker, came charging onto that ball, driven over by one of her teammates, Lauren Crawford there, and the hooker with the bonus point try.
Yeah, again, good build-up play. McDonald involved in it yet again. Just being able to just distribute that ball with real ease. She's really playing with a lot of freedom, a lot of space as well. Good play from Tobin as well, staying on the feet, staying to fight, gets the ball down, and it's just the pace that Miles was able just to afford to get the ball into the pods coming around the corner. And yeah, it was just a bit of brute force there. There was a gap afforded on that side as well because the Heriots players started to peel round, but yeah, well taken from Hillhead Jordanhill.
Well, this time it was the scrum half, Janice Miles, just alert to the opportunity. Heriots just not filling that gap round the side of the breakdown, and the scrum half darting over. Yeah,
just what she deserves as well. She's been very busy in the first half, getting to all those passages of play that she's having to get the ball away from, but she's been doing it with real great endeavour, the fizz of that ball. So she's almost not stood out at all, but done everything so well. And you see there, like all good scrum halves, if they're a couple of yards away from the line and can sniff an opportunity, they're going to take it. And yeah, good execution.
Well, this arguably the pick of all the tries in the first half, and it was Heriots with Hannah Riddick.
Yeah, the line out right in front of us as well. It was you couldn't have probably got it more accurate if you tried. It went over the front pod into the back, and Riddick has been under a lot of pressure in the first half. Balls have been getting kicked into her 22. She's covered the ground well, and you can see she's covered the ground well here as well. But the link-up play, the build-up was impressive. This is the pick of the tries in the first half. It was, you see here, just getting over that pod, well gathered. And you see the link-up play here from the number 8 there, Collins, just linking back up with Venter to get the ball into the wider channels. Good accuracy, ball in front, but that line inside as well has afforded this space, and ball changed into the right arm, so it's tucked in ready to go, because the support play, well, the support and defence coming across here from Tobin, it showed great effort to get across, but great finish from Riddick, and yeah, just reward for our efforts, you feel.
Well, any hint of a Heriot's comeback was short-lived as Hillhead Jordanhill scored their 6th try just a minute or two later, and it was Beth Tobin again on the right wing.
Yeah, and games are about momentum, and you feel that after you get a try you want to really start to kick on and start playing in the right areas, but just a lack of awareness there potentially from Venter, just looking at the defence, looking inside, and then just has a quick glance, and who is lighter in there but Tobin, just to pick off the ball and racing for a try, and yeah, that was probably a real sucker blow for Heriot's there.
Well, Hillhead Jordanhill still had time for 2 more tries at the end of the first half. Siobhan McGinley, the open side flanker, with the 7th try, and just running a lovely line off her fly half.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You know, the Heriot's defence starting to try and twist round the corner. You'll see them competing on the floor, but the defence having to try and work round, and when the drift's coming on you can see them start to move. Now again, options there for the fly half, angle back inside, and it was a clear path. You know, obviously the fullback not able to get across quick enough there, Riddick not able to cover that space, and yeah, well finished yet again.
Well, just 2 or 3 minutes before half time, the carry there by Philippa Abernethy tipped on to Senamara, but it was the second row, Lauren Crawford, who went over for the try, just too powerful through the tackle of the Heriot's captain Pearl Kelly, and that brought up the 50 points.
Yeah, that's probably where the try is. That's the talking point of the try. Kelly just not able to just put her shoulder in strong enough to thwart that effort, and yeah, that was probably, it'll be disappointing from the captain Pearl Kelly, but she certainly stopped a would-be try in the corner just before half time. But yeah, Hillhead Jordanhill have been relentless, and I'm sure they'll not want to take their foot off the gas in the second half.
So 8 tries for Hillhead Jordanhill, an impressive first half performance, and 5 conversions. It was just traded between Millie Warren and Carla MacDonald. MacDonald kicking 2, and Millie Warren with 3 conversions, and just that 1 try for Heriot's Hannah Riddick, who sadly left the field just after scoring the try, replaced by Tyne Jenkinson. And perhaps we'll see Riddick again later in the game, because she was a real bright spot for Heriot's. Most of her work was done in defence, but just showing what she can do in attack.
Yeah, Heriot's weren't really given a lot of chance with ball in hand, and when they did get that momentum and they got that little phase in the game, there was about 6 or 7 minutes where they had a lot of joy. It was first phase ball, it was first phase rugby, and they were able to get the ball nice and wide, and Riddick was afforded space by the good work from her teammates. It wasn't just a matter of it was there, it was really good work from her teammates to afford that space out wide, but there was still a lot to do from the halfway line to try and out-sprint the cover and defence. Good fend, and yeah, I am hoping to see more of her in the second half. Hopefully she comes back on the field. The player can see that Tyne Jenkinson has just emerged for the tunnel. I think all the players perhaps filtering onto the pitch, and yeah, Riddick was impressive in the first half, and it would be a shame if she has to leave this event so early.
Well, there have been some changes at half time, and for Hillhead Jordanhill, we're just looking there for number 16, Stella Kailikunda, making her 100th appearance for Hillhead Jordanhill. Made her debut back in 2016. Hails from Uganda, and brilliant to see Stella winning her 100th cap for the Glasgow side. It's Heriot's who get the second half underway, picked up by one of the try scorers, Siobhan McGinley, at Edinburgh University. And Hillhead Jordanhill quickly back into their stride at the start of this second half, finding space down the right touchline, and just fighting their way, or finding their way through gaps. Roma Fraser again, and she finds Beth Tobin up into the 22. Hillhead Jordanhill looking to strike in the opening minute of this second half.
On her feet.
Oh, referee though awards a penalty
On her feet, over the
to
ball.
Heriot, holding on the ground.
5 holding on.
Almost caught napping though, right from the kick-off. And Hillhead Jordanhill found space over on the far touchline and just showing, as they did in the first half, how easily they can go from their own 22 to the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, it's almost a sense of deja vu. Not able to find touch there, but again, Fraser and Tobin showing how dangerous they can be.
Switch of play. Heriot's defence strung across their own 10-metre line. It's with Hillhead Jordanhill, none of the try scorers. Brogan Carberry takes the ball into contact, laid back nicely for Janice Miles, out to Carla McDonald, almost intercepted by Bethan Cameron.
1, 2.
The inside centre put on enough pressure and just forced the knock on in that Hills back division. It's a good defensive work by Heriot's.
Yeah, you think of the last two passages of play, really, you know, there's certainly been a message delivered to this Heriot side, because being able to scramble back and put pressure on when you're under the pump from the Hillhead Jordanhill side, when they were attacking in the corner, to be able to get back and, you know, win the penalty was great. But just being that rush up there, just when those runners were starting to hit those acute lines back in field, just causing a little bit of chaos in there. Get your body up, make it look like you're going to be taking, you know, ball carrier and the person at the same time. So it's been a good defensive start for Heriot, but they'll be wanting a bit more offence in this game. They'll be wanting a little bit more attacking opportunities.
Under pressure at the scrum, and Venter, well, I like to think she meant that, because that was brilliant. Just kind of kicked the ball, it bounced and couldn't get hands to it. She kicked it to her inside centre, Bethan Cameron. The referee playing advantage. This time it's sort of a knock on by Hillhead Jordanhill, as Beth Tobin thought she was away looking for her hat-trick. But we'll come all the way back for the Heriot scrum.
Yeah, I think Venter might tell you that she meant that as well. But it was, good play, because it was a loose ball, and knowing that you just need to try and get away from that danger pretty quickly. And I think we'll probably see now if she meant it or not. Good scoop away, a bit of pressure at the base, and yeah, definitely meant to kick it to her teammate, definitely did.
I suspect she did, to be fair. That's just a skill set that neither you or I have, Dale, or ever had, and so we assume that it was luck. But I think, to be fair, the player, as we said earlier, dual registered to Broughton, near neighbours here. Great that they've got that relationship, that when a little bit short as they are today, you can share those players. That's with Heriot's Alison Wilson now. Back in their own 22. Venter, he just thought about throwing the pass. I think she weighed up a kick there and dragged down by another replacement, Debbie Lee, and another Glasgow Warrior. And there's space across on the left. Millie Capaldi with the carry, perhaps could have put it through the hands with players outside her. Tyne Jenkinson, only 2 replacements for Heriot's today, came on for Hannah Riddick. It's quicker ball for Heriot's. Comes again to Capaldi. She's shown her ball carrying abilities every time she's been given the opportunity. In come the hands again from Hillhead Jordanhill, but good clear out by Heriot's. Off they go to Pearl Kelly, gets the hands free, keeps that ball alive down the left touchline. That's better play by Heriot's. Stopped midway between the Hills 22 and 10 metre line.
Advantage is over.
Pearl Kelly. Start to scrum half. Millie Capaldi again just saying, give me the ball and I will get you on the front foot. Okay, this is better by Heriot. Comes out in the Hills side, but illegally so. And Chelsea Gillespie again just seeing the Hillhead Jordanhill forwards not rolling away from the tackle. Penalty Heriot.
Yeah, I think one of the differences between these two sides is that there is a lot of quality players in the Heriot side, but they are tasked with doing a lot. I think the likes of Kelly there, you know, the pods perhaps are not offering as many options. You know what's going to happen. It's either it's tap and go, or I'm going to be carrying it. So I think it's the big players are starting to really show and make an impact in this game for Heriot.
Well, there's Millie Capaldi again with the 4th carry in the space of about 2 minutes. That's good hands there by Heriot. Out it comes to the stand side. The tackle made on Harriet Fish, the New Zealander, recycled quickly. Round the corner comes Ailsa Murray, the vice captain. Tackle. Carla McDonald in there. The standoff it was indeed. You don't see that too often. Good work by McDonald. Alison Wilson gets Heriot's back on the front foot.
Thank you, Stephen.
And out to Ailsa Murray, again standing at first receiver. Ball knocked on though by Millie Capaldi. still with Heriot, so the referee will have to draw a halt to play. And then Hillhead Jordanhill hold firm, and we'll have a scrum feed just outside their 22.
Yeah, I think I'm actually selling Heriot a little bit short there, because you can see there they're just starting to get a little bit more structure. You know, they're starting to show there's a little bit more options for them, you know, bringing their forwards and linking up as well with their fly half Venter, who, you know, I've been really impressed with. I think she asks a lot of questions, quite direct towards the line. You can see she's an attacking 10, wants to kind of sprinkle a little bit of glitter on it at times, but you know, certainly they're starting to play with a little bit more structure and probably growing a bit in confidence as well.
Well, it's an interesting scrum, because Hillhead Jordanhill had the upper hand in the first half, but Heriot's driving the visitors backwards on that occasion. Ball goes loose, but referee says play on, and it's with Perro Kelly, the captain. Venter again tries to hack that ball through. Neither side really looking like they want to get hold of that. The referee judging that it was knocked on by Heriot's, and it'll be another Hill scrum. Yeah,
good scrum from Heriot, and just being able to disrupt the put into the scrum from Hillhead Jordanhill just enough for the ball to squirm out the side. But you know, there was almost perhaps a little bit of confusion, just getting a little bit narrow. I think coming off the wing there, Freighter perhaps aware that, you know, you probably have to go a little bit more infield to protect the ball, to get the support round, and then it just ended up a bit of you know, it's like a bar of soap after that. Neither team really could get it under control. But again, another strong Heriot scrum.
Well, Kate Yeomans, the Hills captain, does well to get the ball away from the base of the scrum. And Hillhead Jordanhill once more striding up over halfway with ease. Back it goes to McDonald. He's been happy to kick possession away, and has generally found grass at the back. Decent chase by Hills outside, but disconnected inside, and away comes Venter, trying to get the ball over the top, couldn't quite get it there. And it's with Hills again, and Carla McDonald. Roma Fraser has looked very dangerous every time she's had ball in hand. It's good work there by Tyne Jenkinson, replacement. Perhaps have earned herself a penalty, if not winning the ball for her side. Well, it does come back.
Brilliant work by Megan Taylor. She was able just to rip that ball back on the Heriot side. That was brilliant work on the floor.
Again, there's a hint of space outside for Heriots, but Bethan Cameron cutting back inside, and Venter again, just looking for space, and does well. Looks very assured with ball in hand, never panicked. Another loud blast in the whistle by the referee, and again it's for a high tackle. Penalty to Heriots, and a chance for them perhaps get themselves back into Hillhead Jordanhill territory.
It was about time Tobin did something wrong. It was a high challenge there, just you know, not illegally, so I think she's a bit disappointed with that decision, but just perhaps just riding a little bit high, having to get across the field as well. So well, I don't know why she's shaking her head, because yeah, it was definitely narrowly just above the sternum there. But again, defensive work from Tobin has been excellent. You know, she's got 2 tries, but yeah, she doesn't shirk from a tackle, certainly.
It's Beth Tobin with the high tackle on Alice Savage. There's a joke in there somewhere for you, Dale, if you want it.
Not intelligent enough.
2 by 2, hooker.
No harm done to Savage. That was a reaching sort of tackle by Tobin. It's probably never going to be
receive it and we're
particularly hard, if you like, on Savage, and it's Heriots from the line out. Interplay between forwards and backs. Venter involved again. It's Perro Kelly out in the midfield. Captain, open side flanker. And Cameron, first receiver, finds her centre partner Harriet Fish. Carries hard.
No.
It's another penalty with Heriots. Jordanhill incurring the wrath of referee Chelsea Gillespie. The early stages of this second half, and out it goes to Helen Freighter. Heriots right wing, cuts back in field and does well. Good strength by Freighter. Let's play up towards the 22, Amelia Evans, to her number 8, Ailey Collins. For an injury, I think, to Freighter. Just a little bit too close to the action, so referee Chelsea Gillespie just brings a halt to play, and everybody gets a chance to have a breather. It's been an entertaining first 10 minutes or so in this second half.
Yeah, you've got to say Heriots have reacted really well to, obviously what they kind of had to encounter in the first half. You feel that, in terms of their attacking play and their build-up has been a bit more accurate. They've had go-forward ball. They've played with a bit more calmness and structure as well. So I think from a Heriot standpoint, there's a lot of good that's come over the last kind of 10 minutes. But yeah, they can probably ill afford to have many injuries, such as the depleted squad. Obviously, it's difficult to continue that momentum and continue the good things that they've done if there's personnel has to switch about and change positions perhaps. But yeah, it's been a promising 10 minutes. I think I've been impressed with certainly with both sides, but Heriots have reacted just a little bit better in this second half.
Philippa Abernethy, who's the vice president of the club, I believe, Hillhead Jordanhill. A great job, very skillful player. She carries hard, but you can see when they're in a pod just off 9, she's got that ability to play the ball back to the back division. Carla McDonald often just standing behind her, but she comes off replaced by, I think that was Amy Johnston coming back on, so they've obviously reshuffled the front row, and Amanda Moore coming on as well in the number 22 jersey.
I think that's perhaps when I'm talking about the structure of Hillhead, Abernethy's been at the beating heart of that. I think when you've got pods of forwards, and it's a lot more commonplace in all brands of rugby now, but when you've got those skillful forwards, your front rows and your back row forwards as well, that are able to link up, because traditionally your pods used to be outside. You'd hit your forwards and they would just truck it up and crash it up, and it's so predictable. And now you're then getting asked questions. You're thinking, is this person going to pass, or are they going to carry it towards me, or are they going to flick it back inside? So it's great to see those elements of rugby being adopted by Hillhead Jordanhill. And Abernethy, yeah, she's been at the kind of beating heart of it. This is a shame for Helen Frater as well, because in the two carries that she's really had, she's been really impressive. Been not being given a lot of time with ball in hand, but she's certainly defensively been really, really strong, and a couple of opportunities in attacking quarters as well. So she'll be disappointed to come off, and yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame to see her have to leave the field with what is obviously a sore one.
She's done a great job on that right wing for Heriots, but Rebecca Healy, the other replacement, I assume, is on there somewhere. I did see Charlotte Harrison coming back on the number 4 jersey for Heriot, so perhaps a bit of a shuffle. I can see Pearl Kelly out in the back division. Yeah, I think Kelly had to move into the backs early doors, and you can see Megan Taylor just lining up at inside centre as well, so a slight reshuffle. I think Kelly's having to go to full back, so yeah, it's certainly a little mix is going to see Cameron on the right wing as well. Kelly played much of her rugby in the back 3, winger in the Glasgow Warriors squad.
Roll, great roll, advantage.
With Heriots, and they have a penalty advantage. They can roll the dice here if they want. They're a bit too slow there, Hillhead Jordanhill. For the first time, too slow to roll away. I think Lauren Crawford, one of the try scorers in the first half, the guilty party. And Kirsty Venter comes forward and looks to punch this ball into the corner, so Heriots can attack from the line out.
Yeah, she might be dual registered, but she seems like a fully fledged member of this Heriot side, obviously calling the shots. But it's one of the things with Kelly as well, because she's obviously had a good, powerful game in the back row, but sometimes it's an element of need as well. But she does certainly look like she fits that mould of that kind of inside centre as well. So it'll be interesting to see how she's kind of utilised for the rest of this game as well.
Hold the line, back to 10.
So Rebecca Healy is on the pitch, wearing the number 16 jersey, about to throw into the line out, and just sails over the top of the intended recipient, but it does come back on the Heriot side. Back to Venter again, and through the hands of Megan Taylor. So several of this Heriot side now playing in unfamiliar positions, perhaps showing there, but it was knocked on by Hillhead Jordanhill out there. Yeah, really struggled to find the rhythm they had in that first half, scoring 8 tries. We're now 12 and a half minutes into the second half, and no change to the half-time score.
Yeah, I think a lot of credit has to go to Heriot for the way they've reacted. You know, they've probably defensively caused a little bit more chaos. You know, they've not really allowed Hillhead Jordanhill the same amount of space and the same respect. They're rushing up a little bit more, and I think perhaps, you know, the changes that have come on for Heriot and defensive reshuffle has probably allowed a little bit more energy in the backs as well. You know, defensively getting off the line.
We're inside.
But yeah, I think you've got to credit Heriot for the way that they've approached the last kind of 10 minutes or so. They've come out the sheds and they've looked like a different team. You know, if it continued in the same vein, then, you know, confidence would drop dramatically. But yeah, it looks pretty good.
Amanda Moore in shot there, wearing the number 22 jersey. One of several Hillhead Jordanhill replacements that should be called into action here in a defensive capacity as Bethan Cameron strides into the 22, but thumped into touch. The tackle made by Millie Warren, who has shown up incredibly well both in an attacking and defensive capacity for the visitors today.
Yeah, but with a central focus of physicality. You know, you see it getting across here, the ball getting into wider channels, and this is, you know, using it like at the distance between the touchline as well, and where she makes that contact. You know, she's been in good positions on the floor to turn over ball, but you know, when she's carried or when she's tackled, yeah, she absolutely loves the physical aspect of the game, and that was another huge collision.
Another Heriot's player getting some treatment. Megan Taylor seems to be okay. The hooker on her 50th appearance for the side now, playing in the back division, but it's a Hillhead Jordanhill throw into the line out after that thumping tackle by Millie Warren, and it's Stella Kyla-Kunda on her 100th appearance. Carried by Siobhan McGinley. And back it goes to Carla McDonald. He just got time to lift her head and assess where the space is, and that's a brilliant kick over the head of Pearl Kelly, and has to go all the way back to over her 10-metre line. Chased all the way by Amanda Moore. She's managed to release that ball just as she's been tackled, and it's been snapped up by Hillhead Jordanhill now, picked up by Roma Fraser.
Go.
Back to go to the forwards. A strong carry, and it's just not coming forward. That defensive line perhaps tiring. Captain Kate Yeomans now fights her way through, eventually caught by Ailsa Murray, Heriot's vice-captain, just short of the 22. Carla McDonald has to scurry back and tidy that one up.
Advantage high.
Still with Hillhead Jordanhill. Slow ball now though for Denise Miles. Siobhan McGinley, very willing ball carrier.
Here we go.
Driven to deck by Alison Wilson. Again, McDonald just weighs up the options. Looking for a kind bounce, but it ends up in the arms of Pearl Kelly. So the referee will come back, I think, for another high tackle. Penalty to Hillhead Jordanhill.
High tackle.
Yeah, it's the first time we've played 50 minutes in the second half, and it's the first real occasion that we've seen Carla McDonald with the ball in hand. An excellent kick out of her 22, able just to find Kelly just in the wrong position, and then there just showing a little bit of her brilliance. Perhaps a grubber kick to touch was not the brilliance that she was looking for there, but she's made her touch. But you can see the little touches that she's got from the boot and the vision that she's got. I've been you know, there's a few players, but I think I've been most impressed with the balance of Carla McDonald in this game.
And as we just said in commentary there, the good players have got so much time. You can see her lift her head, she weighs up what the options are, where she wants to kick it. It's not just been hoofed aimlessly downfield, it's well directed.
Time's on.
And it's a big part of their game, and ultimately it's landed them with a line out about 18 metres or so from the Heriot's try line. And it's the replacement hooker Kyla-Kunda again with the throw, but it's been picked off by Heriot's at the front of the line out. They survive again, and still no change to the half-time score, so credit again has to go to Heriot's. It's that one try in the first half for the home side. Hannah Riddick with that wonderful run up the right touchline, and so far they've held out Hillhead Jordanhill. They'll probably had more attacking possession, to be fair, than the visitors, but it's Hills now with a scrum inside the 22, looking to strike and pick up the first points of the second half.
Yeah, I think Heriots have had more of the ball, but it's what you do with it, and I think at times they've had probably some good passages between probably their own 10 and the Hillhead 22, but then that's where Hillhead have looked comfortable in defence. They've not really been too threatened, although there's been some bright sparks in there. But again, another brilliant scrum from Heriot's there, just bulldozing Hillhead off the ball.
Yes, won by Amelia Evans out from the feet of Janice Miles, her opposite number. Going backwards again, Bethan Cameron. Heriot's inside centre under huge pressure, and then ball's been knocked on by Venter. Referee playing an advantage because this could bounce up nicely for Roma Fraser. Making a beeline for the post, stopped about 7 metres short. Most of the Hills players strung across to the right. There's numbers out there, and they should score here. And, well, juggled at the end. I think they've got that ball down. They have indeed. And that is the first points of the second half, and it's Amanda Moore, the replacement back.
Yeah, good try, good cover in defence, and it was there was nervy moments there for Hillhead Jordanhill when they perhaps thought that ball was maybe not going to stick in the wider channels. But again, I watch the pace of that ball coming off, but this fizzing pass across good width allows the defence to be stretched just that little bit further. But McHugh and Amanda Moore linking up out wide, and it's another try for Hillhead Jordanhill, and they've had a lot of joy out in the wings.
Well, it's taken 17 minutes of the second half, having run riot in that first half with 8 tries, before they're able to pick up their 9th. There's the 2 replacement backs, Hannah McHugh with the scoring pass to Amanda Moore. Looks like it will be Millie Warren. The conversion attempt from out wide on the right, catches that nicely, but it just goes across the face of the post, so unable to add the extras. But it's Heriot's 5, Hillhead Jordanhill 55.
Now, I think for it's almost 20 minutes, Heriot's have defended pretty well, but again, it's just being clinical and being ruthless when you get in these areas. And Hillhead Jordanhill have been in the opposition 22 for a couple of minutes, and they're able to pick off the defence and score a try in the corner. And again, the defence gets across pretty well, but it was well finished. Amanda Moore just able to use that power to just get over the line and also control the ball. It was difficult to gather. Still probably having to get some air back in the lungs from that clattering hit that came across from Savage, but yeah, good finish from Hillhead Jordanhill.
Heriot's restart picked up inside the 22. Tackle eventually made on the Heriot side of halfway. That's powerful play by the visitors. Miles out to Senamara. Jasmine Hall, first year of playing rugby at Glasgow University. Background playing football, is switched to the oval ball. The ball was lost, and we're back to scrum time. And Heriot's is another positive that Heriot's can take from the game. They were under a huge amount of pressure at the set piece in the first half, but they've been dominant in the second.
Yeah, they have. They've had the upper hand on their opposition. And as you mentioned about Jasmine Hall, she was just going round, and she was actually speaking to Carla McDonald about that kind of last passage of play and overrunning it. Learning on the job. There's no better way to do it. But Heriot's have been pretty strong in the scrum, and they'll be open. I think that's been part of the balance, being able to get them back into this game and get a bit of a foothold at the set piece.
Del Kelly again gets the hands free, finds Kirsty Venter. Ball knocked on, that perhaps just happening a little bit too far away from the defensive line. The defence just able to hold off, allow Heriot's to do what they're going to do, and then come in for the kill.
Yeah, I think there was a line out earlier on where the forwards and the backs were linking up pretty effectively and pretty well, but they're probably doing it a little bit too deep. That just allows the defensive line just to probably watch what's going on and then react to it, as opposed to having to react in close quarters, and that's where the gaps appear. So if Heriots do that a little, maybe a metre or so further forward, they'd probably fix a few more defenders. But just a bit an unforced error there from Savage on the wing, just not able to gather and control the ball.
In and out quickly, with Debbie Lee picking up now from number 8, and then Carla McDonald showing she has a physical edge to her game. She fights her way through contact and then quickly out to Roma Fraser. Back inside, Jasmine Hall there, driven to deck inside the 22. Jordanhill is taking their time here, playing through the hands of Carla McDonald. To the forwards lurking in midfield. Abernethy Don't get much of a rest. She's back on the field of play, starting loose head prop. As always makes ground in the carry, and Heriot's defence scrambling across now. A loose pass. It's still with Hillhead Jordanhill, and another thumping tackle made on Roma Fraser there by Pearl Kelly.
I think she's probably had about 5 of them in this game. Her defensive effort has been pretty good.
Go!
It's still with Hills, 5 metres out. And then the forwards, Amy Johnston, the tight head prop with the carry. She's only a metre or short and plunges over. The referee Chelsea Gillespie on the spot, and it's Stella Kailakunda on her 100th appearance for the club, who goes over for the try.
Well done.
Again, good defence from Heriot. It's able to stretch out wide, but just the ball retention and recovery from Hillhead Jordanhill allows them to keep the pressure on in that 5 metre area. And you can see here the forwards carrying with great endeavour, the support getting there quickly as well. Abernethy just able to clear the challenge off, and perhaps just at those, you know, in those close areas, I think perhaps Dede a bit guilty of being too tall, you know, just standing there, especially with somebody with a lower centre of gravity, just far too tall to be able to thwart that forward carry. So, you know, again, these little fine margins are probably sometimes the difference between these two sides, but yeah, certainly at that height it was always going to be difficult to stop Kailakunda from that distance.
Carla McDonald didn't catch that one. The shoot of hope just fades across the posts again. It's 2 tries now in the second half. Amanda Moore and then Stella Kailakunda. The club since 2016. Incredible record for the Ugandan, and brilliant to see her going over for a try as she picks up that milestone.
You just say that's probably a better angle, but yeah, you know, 100 caps is a great effort for any club side, and no better way than to get a try as well off the bench and get over the whitewash for a 5-pointer.
Inside the final quarter here then, this Arnold Clark Women's Premiership match, round 2. Hillhead Jordanhill beating Stuartry 74 points to 7 last week. A bonus point victory backed up this week, it would appear, by another. And away goes Jasmine Hall again, replacement. He's showing her pace and power, gallops up again towards the 22. Tip on by Johnston to Kate Yeomans. Abernethy in, not needed though at the breakdown, and then that's a nice pass out there to Penelope Saberton. Jenny smiles back to Philippa Abernethy, thought about the pass, just takes the ball into contact. It's taken down by Matilda Dede. Again, powerful carrying this time by Debbie Lee, and she's taken down 2 or 3 metres short, and Stella Kailakunda looking for her second, and she gets it. The replacement hooker over. 2 tries in 2 minutes for Kailakunda. And it's try number 11 for Hillhead Jordanhill.
I think there's going to be an honourable mention in there for Pearl Kelly. There was 3 one-on-one challenges that were brilliantly executed, round the waist, textbook tackle. You know, these laws about tackling around the sternum, watch this one, just round the waist, dragged down. She had 3 of them in that passage of play, however many phases that went through for Hillhead Jordanhill. And there's Kelly on the ground yet again, making that challenge, but I did say there was no better way to mark your 100th cap with a try. I might be proven to be corrected shortly. It's a brace and she's on for a hat-trick.
It's the turn of Millie Warren again, and she raises the flags, adding the 2 extra points. And Hillhead Jordanhill now up to 67 points. Just the 1 try still for Heriot's Hannah Riddick in that first half. Again, great work there by the replacement hookers to roll over and dot that ball down.
Yeah, I think obviously talking about the defensive accuracy of the Heriot's captain Pearl Kelly, but the build-up play and the momentum, meant that she had to do that, because Hillhead Jordanhill were relentlessly, retaining that ball and carrying with a lot of physicality. So, she had to put in those challenges. But a great finish there from Kyla Kunda. And a little error off the restart for Hillhead Jordanhill means that Heriot will be hoping to try and build a little bit more momentum again as we enter the closing stages of this game.
Senamara with the knock-on. I think she has shifted. We'll get a view here of the numbers on the backs of the jerseys there. That looks like Senamara now packing down on the loose-head side of the scrum. Started at hooker for Hillhead Jordanhill. Amy Johnston having had a breather. Back on the tight head side, and Stella Kyla Kunda on a brace, as you say, now looking for a hat-trick. The replacement hooker between them, but it's a Heriot scrum. What can they do from here? Back to the Venter. It's through between the two Heriot's players, so a bit of confusion in the Heriot's back division. That just allows Hillhead Jordanhill to get back into attacking mode, and again Carla McDonald sees space at the back. Point director kick where she wanted on that occasion. Kirsty Venter waiting on it, finds Pearl Kelly. Kelly back to her feet, back to his scrum half. It's the Pearl Kelly show. She seems to be everywhere for Heriot's. Everything going sideways for Heriot's. Shut down, picked up now by Hillhead Jordanhill, so once again on the attack inside the 22. Janice Miles still in there. Debbie Lee now, strong carry. Placement in the back row. Step on pass again, this time to Amy Johnston from Kate Yeomans, the captain. And now there's numbers across to the left hand side, and McDonald knew that through the missed pass out to Amanda Moore. Cuts back inside, she's dragged down just short by who else? Pearl Kelly. But it's still with Janice Miles. Back to the forward, Siobhan McGinley, with one try in that first half. Driven towards the try line. It's Heriot's defence. Will not give up. Back they come to the left. Carla McDonald spotted the opportunity, and they do go over. Made to work for it, but Penelope Saverton now goes over for Hillhead Jordanhill in the left hand corner. Heriot's defence throwing absolutely everything at that, but Hillhead Jordanhill just showing their quality. Carla McDonald was aware that there was space on the left hand side, came round behind the breakdown, and she puts the replacement Penelope Saverton in her first game after an 18-month layoff with a knee injury. Will be very happy to be involved in the action and pick herself up a try.
Again, just good work off the ball from the fly half there. Carla McDonald just changing the angle, changing the flow of attack. But Saverton probably should have went in for a score, maybe 3-4 phases before that. But just a little bit of mix-up. Amanda Moore, a little kick of the heels, and was almost, she outstretched the defender. I think if Saverton had just perhaps kept her with, she was going to go in for a nailed-in score. But eventually, again, the ball retention from Hillhead Jordanhill, the pressure that they're able to put on 5 metres from the line, impressive yet again.
Well, this couldn't be any further out for Millie Warren. Got it reasonably well, but didn't threaten the uprights, the inside centre. And it's now Heriot's 5, Hillhead Jordanhill 72. 74-7 winners last week, with every chance of surpassing that tally this week. Another look at it here.
Yeah, good basic play, getting the ball through the hands. It's just a numbers game after that, and good grounding. But I think you talk about the scoreline and the way it's been. There was a passage of this game in the second half, certainly, where Hillhead Jordanhill were weathering a storm from Heriot. But I think the way that they've been able to manage that and deal with that, just shows you, what kind of level opposition that Heriot's are going to face today.
The ball not taken cleanly from the restart, but no knock on, picked up by Amanda Moore. Looking for support, but instead, she doesn't need it. She's up over halfway again, chased all the way, lobs the ball back in field. Back to Moore again. Showing good strength, but eventually thrown to deck by Kirsty Venter. Caitlin McGowan.
No, she needs to go.
All of a sudden, Hillhead Jordanhill, from a restart that wasn't taken cleanly, back up to the Heriot's 22. Debbie Lee now with the carry. Jenny Smiles out to McDonald.
On.
Quite direct her kick where she meant it, but almost worked for Hillhead Jordanhill. Tied it up again under pressure by Pearl Kelly. Well, it's been turned over by Hillhead Jordanhill. So still with it. Well, here she comes again. Stella Kailakunda looking for her hat-trick. Stopped short. Off they go to the right. Heriot's defence racing up.
Behind her,
a good spot tackle. Forcing Hillhead Jordanhill just back a metre or two. Ball pulled back by Johnston to Carla McDonald. Again, there's numbers out here on the left touchline. They look to keep the ball alive. Stopped just a metre or two short again. This Heriot's defence will not give up. Amy Johnston now crashing into contact. The tight head prop, but again driven back. Picked up by the captain now, Kate Yeomans. Again met with force by two Heriot's players. Now the gap opens up.
Tackle short,
Hillhead Jordanhill just cannot get over that try line. The referee is on the spot, well, raises the arm. The try is scored. And just see who comes up last. Just looking to see who it was, but it's one of the forwards who has gone over. I'll have another look at it here, Dale. The carry there by Amy Johnston, helped by Penelope Saverton. I think it's from here is Jenny Smiles on hand, but instead it was picked up. Well, still not quite got the number. Great defence by Heriot's. I mean, they forced Hillhead Jordanhill to go through so many phases here, trying to hold the player up there, but eventually just twisted her way out of contact and has touched that ball down.
Yeah, I think it was Kiva O'Neill who's got the pats in the back. Again, close quarter action. It was carried forward by Deborah Lee, and then I think the next passage of play, it did look like Kiva O'Neill did get the try. Very hard to tell. Again, you can see the build-up play yet again. Heriot's standing firm and standing tall. Number 17 scooping up the ball. You can see it just at the feet, and an easy finish there on the turf over the whitewash for number 17, Kiva O'Neill.
It's actually Debbie Lee, and they've swapped jerseys. Yes, Kiva O'Neill and Deborah Lee have swapped jerseys. So it's Debbie Lee credited with the try. Conversion by Carla McDonald. And that, by my reckoning, is 13 tries. Took 17 minutes in the second half for Hillhead Jordanhill to get themselves over the try line. And it's 5 tries now for Hillhead Jordanhill in the second half. Here go Heriot, so awarded a penalty. Hands in the ruck by the visitors.
I think Heriot's at this stage now, you know, in terms of the last 5 minutes of this game, will certainly be wanting to try and just put a little bit of pressure on, keep the ball, and you know, they're obviously looking towards, you know, the next fixtures that are going to be coming up for them as well, and probably a bit of damage limitation as well. Look to keep the players fresh. They don't want to be picking up any more injuries, because they've certainly had to succumb to, you know, a few injuries to key personnel as well this afternoon, so they'll want to try and keep all their players on the pitch and start building towards the rest of the season.
From penalty, the Heriot's line out, not taken cleanly. Chelsea Gillespie having a very close look there. Well, I think she got a call from Digby Thomas there on the far side, ball knocked on in the line out, so that's a shame for Heriot's unable to make anything of that opportunity.
I think they'll be disappointed they never hit their line out there, but I think they'll be comforted in the fact that their scrum has been excellent in the second half. You know, it's a big scoreline, 79 points to 5, especially in your home patch is a big scoreline. But there is positives in there. The scrum, the set piece has been pretty accurate. There's been some good performances in there as well from the likes of Venter, and in particular the captain, Pearl Kelly. Unfortunately for Heriot, it's mostly been in a defensive capacity, but you know, Heriot will be happy here to have a scrum and look to try and get some of their big ball carriers like Fish onto the ball, and Kelly as well, and try and do a bit of damage to puncture through this Hillhead defence in the second half.
Well, it's a Heriot scrum. Just inside the 22. Beryl Kelly. He didn't have too many options outside her, so now playing at fullback. Started at open side flanker, and the ball chipped over the top by Kirsty Venter, just looking for a kind bounce. It does bounce back towards the Heriot's chasers, that Janice Miles was on hand. The Hillhead Jordanhill scrum half to touch down. That should be a goal line drop out.
Yeah, I think there's a conversation about a potential scrum being on there, because I don't know if he yet got carried back in. I think the covering scrum half, Miles, who's had a good game, a very good game, was just sweeping up in behind and has carried it over the try line. So again, it's another opportunity, and this would be a good chance to see how good this Heriot scrum actually is, because they'll be wanting to try and exert a little bit of pressure on this Hillhead's Jordanhill scrum itself. But it means they're another 5 metres closer to that try line, and they'll be wanting to try and get some more positives out of this second half.
Wait. No. Never pity on the. Hold. Let's go, Lou. Hold it back.
Chelsea Gillespie not happy with the first attempt at the scrum. So just to confirm, Janice Miles did carry that ball back over her own goal line before touching down. It's a scrum to the attacking side. It's a good position here for Heriot. About 20 metres to play with on the right. They've got 2 players there, but the ball squirts out the side. It's been snapped up by Janice Miles. And Jasmine Hall involved again. Hint of space out there. That's Debbie Lee, who scored the previous try. Gallops off upfield, looks inside for support. She had Caitlin McGowan with her, but couldn't find the second row. Been snapped up by Heriot. Lost the opportunity from the scrum inside the 22.
Tackler roll.
Now looking to attack from rather further out. The referee again playing advantage. Alison Wilson is looking a little hesitant, but then powers her way forward 3 or 4 metres. It's Heriot on the front foot. Taken by Kirsty Venter. Beryl Kelly looks inside for support, and then outside and goes herself. Taken down by Rowan Davidson. Kirsty Venter couldn't take that cleanly, so we'll come back for the penalty. It's us up into added time at the end of this second half.
It's been a second half which has been brighter for Heriot. Yes, they've not scored, or they've not really been able to put too much pressure on Hillhead Jordanhill, but you've got to remember that this is a squad that started with 17 players, against a squad that arrived with 22. So it's been a lung-busting effort, and you would probably expect in the balance of play for the last half hour of a game for this side to drop off. And if anything, they've actually, they've probably been galvanised by that. That back to the wall mentality that they've had to probably adopt for the whole game. So you've got to be huge plaudits for Heriot, the way that they've approached this game. Disappointed in defeat, definitely, and credit to Hillhead Jordanhill, but Heriot's still plugging away.
Beryl Kelly, not surprisingly, heavily involved for Heriot's from the scrum, but that ball's been knocked on by the home side. The referee Chelsea Gillespie having a look at her watch and decides that she has seen enough blows for full time. A resounding victory for Hillhead Jordanhill, ultimately picking up 13 tries here at Goldenacre, and they run out 79 points to 5 winners here in round 2 of the Arnold Clark Women's Premiership.
Yeah, you got to say in the first half the hard work was done. It allowed them to actually use their squad as well, Hillhead Jordanhill, but the way they approached that opening 40 minutes with their structure, their accuracy, their tempo as well, it was really hard to live with for Heriot. You chuck in a couple of reshuffles in there in the squad as well. The loss of Riddick was a big point for Heriot. She got that try, and the byproduct of that was that was the end of her game. So a slight reshuffle, but perhaps there's elements of that which probably really supported Heriot as well in defence, because Beryl Kelly was omnipresent throughout proceedings and making those big clattering challenges. But yeah, some of those players for Hillhead Jordanhill are really going to stand out this season. You've got Roma Fraser at fullback. I was impressed throughout with the halfback pairing as well of Miles and McDonald, but the ball carriers and the forwards as well. That second row partnership of Crawford and McGowan were were pretty industrious throughout proceedings as well. So yeah, big one-sided victory for Hillhead Jordanhill, and that'll do them the world of good as they look forward to the rest of the season.
Yes, a real quality side right across through the forwards on that back division. You picked out, I think, the key players there, Carla MacDonald and Roma Fraser, really, in that back division, but plenty of pace in the wings, and the power of Millie Warren impressive at inside centre. So let's have a look then at the second half action. And Heriot's held Hillhead Jordanhill at bay for the first 17 minutes of the second half, but the ninth try of the day went to Amanda Moore, only on the field of play in the second half. Juggled it, drove herself over the try line, Amanda Moore, and again she gave a very good account of herself when she came on the pitch.
Yeah, you've got to look at the strength of the bench as well, from Hillhead Jordanhill. You can see there, yet again, Fraser making a marauding run from fullback, but you watch this element here, the ball right in front for all of them, fixing the defender, shifting the ball, and you've got to say, although there was a slight juggle, you've got to think about the momentum that you build up. The three players have really, provided the energy for that, that momentum carry over the line from Moore. Well,
the next two tries fell to replacement hooker Stella Kyla Kunda on her 100th appearance for Hillhead Jordanhill. Couldn't quite pick up a hat-trick, but two tries in the space of 2 minutes.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of a commentator's curse when I said there was no better way to mark your 100th appearance, but you see here again, just good carrying, good structure and good game management from Hillhead Jordanhill. And then when they're picking round the corner, you just got to say the guards who are in position round for Heriot's just a little bit too tall to deal with that. It's such close range. It was much of the same as well when Kyla Kunda picked up the ball in this phase as well. The players this time having to get up to the ground and they're towering up. So again, just being able to pick off the defenders that are perhaps just standing a little bit too tall. A great work from the replacement, and a great accolade as well to get 100 caps for your club, and it'll be a game that she'll certainly remember. And you can see there the guards just coming round, just not able to deal with that. Good effort there from Taylor, but just not able to thwart that effort.
Well, several of the replacements getting themselves on the score sheet, because the last two, one went to replacement back Penelope Saverton, and then Debbie Lee it was who finished off the scoring.
Yeah, I gave an honourable mention to Kelly in the build-up for all the tackles that she put in the build-up to this try, but Hillhead actually probably should have scored that 3 or 4 phases earlier, and they were made to work incredibly hard for the try in the end. But the player who probably should have got the try in the first place in the build-up was the player to get it in the end, Severton. And you can see there, again, the work from the fly half, MacDonald, working behind that ruck, just blind and really asking questions of the Heriot's defence. Just affords that space and time for a winger to dive in the corner, so another good score. Again, the last try as well, the next try that came on from Hillhead Jordanhill, again, good work from the forwards, really building the platform and building the pressure and just being able to carry it round the corner. There was a little bit of confusion as to who eventually did get the try. A valiant effort as well from Heriot's, just standing up tall. There was 3 or 4 carries really close to the line, but you can see eventually Deborah Lee was the player, probably the easiest of tries, just able to pick the ball up and flop over the line. Great angle for this from this angle here to see exactly what had happened. But you can see the Heriot's players working really hard in 2s and 3s to really dig in, put the heels on the try line. But that's probably going to be one of the easiest tries you're ever going to score, and it was Deborah Lee who got the 5-pointer.
Yes, Debbie Lee rounding out the scoring for the afternoon. 5 tries for Hillhead Jordanhill in the second half to add to the 8 they picked up in the first half. And a powerful all-round performance. So work to be done for Heriot's. Perhaps not too disheartened, having faced 2 of the top sides in the league in their opening 2 fixtures. As for Hillhead Jordanhill, well, they've very much announced themselves as contenders in the Women's Premiership. 2 from 2, 153 points in their opening 2 games. An impressive performance.